Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where we are currently heading on over towards our rendezvous. Well, we need to burn for the rendezvous to the ISS in order to deliver the Destiny Lap, but that is of course the current goal here. So we're just going to warp on forward here and get ourselves into position for this burn, which will be right about, well, we need to warp a little further, 50 seconds, 40, 30, 20, 10, and 3, 2, 1, 0. Mark. Okay, I was not quite expecting that level of thrust. I was also not expecting to not be on node. I wish that this went to off when you just started up the game, but unfortunately it doesn't do that. Let's just get this a little bit more controlled here. Okay, I've overshot it now. Now I'm distracted. Okay, cool. We've got plenty of Delta V here, and we can just grab the excess fuel from the station, which will be absolutely fine. So we're going to hop on over to here, approximately, and get that last little bit out of here. This is close enough. I do want to thrust limit these down to 10%. It's too much thrust. We don't need this level of thrust right now, so we're going to turn them right on down as we tumble gracefully along here. Phenomenal. Okay, let's kill that rotation, and we are going to... Yes, that was the intersection there, 7.9 kilometers. That is not bad. So we're going to warp on up over this way. It should be out from Kerbin, and we should go into target mode here. There we go, switching over to target mode. Okay, so out from Kerbin, there it is. About 35 kilometers away right now. Let's take a look at our relative velocities. We're going to be at 167.1. Okay, sure. So we're just going to burn somewhere around here as a quick corrective burn. Okay, now down about here. That'll do. And that puts us at 1.3 kilometers apart. I like it. So we're going to warp on through over here. Hopefully we, no, we're not going to have a collision with Sputnik. Good. That would have been awkward indeed. So we're just continuing to warp in for now. We're going to have to go over towards the relative velocity minus side here, because we're currently about 200 meters per second apart. And at this juncture, we're going to want to push this node up this direction and begin a bit of a braking burn. Cool. That'll do. How are we doing for our aim? 0.1. Not bad. Not bad at all. That's going to be in about 50 seconds. I don't really want to warp too far forward. I'm going to turn our tail this way. There we go. That's just for safety reasons. And we're going to warp forward a little bit here. Although, as I look at it, we're going to come in below. Okay. We should definitely slow down here. And we're going to do exactly that, just killing our relative velocity. We're going to be overshooting this. Okay, I should have slowed down earlier. Well, that's reasonably fine. Goodbye, station. We're going to just get turned right on around. It's not a big deal. That was a thrust to weight issue. I just underestimated, or rather overestimated our thrust. So we're just going to get that turned on around. That's my own fault. And we just need to get that down to about 0, although I'm going to burn, at this point, very gently towards target. Cool. And, right, we're pushing towards target here. We need to be over this way. No, I'm dumb. Okay, we need to head back over this way. We're on prograde side. We're not on retrograde side, and we want to be on prograde side. For the moment. Now we're going to go to relative velocity minus as we're on our way back in. We've got plenty of Delta V for these maneuvers. This really doesn't matter. And we're just going to position ourselves here. We're only about 2.7 meters per second towards target. So this is really, really gentle at this point. I'm going to warp us in a while. We're going in pretty slowly, to be honest. About 500 meters out. 400 meters out. 300. Well, now 300. 200 meters out. Like I said, we're moving pretty slowly here. Okay, so here we are approximately at the station. We certainly could think about changing our trajectory, but I think it's reasonably fine for right now. I think we'll just park here, and we need to figure out exactly where this was going. I believe we need to move this module here, if I recall correctly. So we're just going to kill our relative velocity for the moment here, although we might want to wait until we're past this center line here. Yeah, I think this is reasonably fine to wait here. So about now or so. A little bit further. Down to 0.5 meter per second. 3, 2, 1, 0. There we go. That'll do. So, next up, we need to move this module. How are we going to go about doing that, you might ask? The answer is as follows. We're going to open up our bay here, and this thing is kind of in the way. So we're going to... Oh, right. We have this strutted in right now. We're going to need Bill to EVA, and we're going to grab this strut out of here for the moment. We don't really care where it goes. It immediately just starts wiggling. That's reasonably expected. And I'm going to angle this guy right on out of here. I just want to get it a bit out of the way. Okay. Now we may want to strut it back in because that's a lot of mass to be waving around like that. So I'm going to grab this strut and we're just going to attach it here. There we go. Cool. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab our robotic arm here, and we're going to take it around to a 0-degree angle. And the question is, okay, we have a strut in here. I'm thinking about extending this out, like maximum extension here. Okay, that's our maximum extension. Got it. We could put this guy back in. We need to arm the advanced grabbing unit. And we need to set kind of this as our target, but we really want to grab it about here. It doesn't really matter where we grab it, though. So then we want to swap back over to Bill here. I want to grab... We're out of range of that? Okay. We're going to have to fly on up here a bit. Okay. Now I want to grab our strut, and we're going to strut from here to here, just to stabilize that. There we go. That is a temporary situation, of course. And we're going to hop back in. Or actually, we're just going to grab here. Are we going to unstrut this? I'm not sure why we're suddenly turning, but okay. Can we not? Let's just kill rot. Thanks. Okay. So now do we want to re-stow this is the question that we have. And I think the answer to that is yes. So we're going to re-stow this. So that means doing that. That means bringing this guy back around to a 0. Can we not have this traverse rate, please? Thanks. Bring this around to a target angle of 0. Yeah, it's going to clip a bit, but that's reasonably expected. So there we go. Back to Bill. And we're going to strut that in, just to make sure it doesn't really go anywhere. We're not working with this module just yet. Okay, so we've got this set up. That's all great. Next, we're going to board. And we're going to control from here. And I want to point at the target. But we need to come in from a particular direction. And what direction do we want to come in from? Well, it kind of doesn't matter. What we need to do is we need to arm this berthing port, because we need this guy to be grabbed by the shuttle in some orientation. And it doesn't really matter what orientation that is. We just need to grab it with the shuttle. So what I'm thinking right now is we should position ourselves more like here. So that means controlling from here, nosing up, and we're going to need to overshoot that apparently. Okay, we're going to point about like this, And then I want to nose out this direction just a little bit. Please hold this position. Oh, we're not in kill rot. That would help. So hold this position here. Rotate us ever so slightly so that hopefully we don't end up hitting the station. And we're going to head over here at around 0.5 meter per second. Cool. Do we think we're going to hit the station? That's the current question. Well, I want to change our actual velocity to be our forward vector here. If we manage to get that done, we should not end up hitting the station, I think. This might be a little overextended at this point to grab the module here. But again, we don't really care what orientation we grab it in at this moment. So that seems reasonably fine. We might be going to impact here. So I'm going to bring us to a halt. There we go. And now we want to not be on RCS. I want to nose down. Like so. And then angle us over. About like that. Or so. I want to control from here. And we can use that to determine our relative angle, right? Our aiming angle here. So that should be around here-ish. But if we go directly in, I'm concerned about hitting this PMA module. So what I actually want to do here is I want to move us a little bit further. So I want to control from here, and I want to go out this way just a little bit. I'm still concerned about hitting with the tail, so I'm going to rotate us right on over so that we're facing this direction. Now I'm going to get us a little bit of speed here. That's 1 meter per second, which is actually a little more speed than I was anticipating, but it's fine. And now we'll bring that to a halt. Like I said, a little bit more speed than was anticipated. Okay, just correcting our actual velocity a bit there. Looks good. RCS off. We are going to control from here. And we need to, at this point, rotate this back around and hope that we don't, like, push the station. It'd be mildly awkward if we did. So we need to take this around this way-ish, but this is not exactly the orientation that I want to be in. So let's point at target. And let's see. Oof. That's a big old station push. Okay. We were too close. Point at relative velocity up. And we'll kill that relative velocity. Okay. Yep, we definitely pushed the station there, which was not the goal. So RCS on. Killing that relative velocity. Let's adjust its trajectory a little bit. And there we go. Beautiful. RCS off. Point at target, but we want to control from here. Okay. This is actually a pretty decent angle if the station was perpendicular to us here. So we could definitely roll the station a little bit to do that. So in order to do this, we would want to simply roll the station about like that. Approximately. Freeze those physics. Yeah, these kind of wave around a bit. It's slightly unfortunate. We can fix that eventually, but for now, it'll do. Okay, so I want to be pointing... We're pointing at this target. I want to be pointing more like here. So like at the midway point between this target point and this target point, which is like here. Okay. Now, we're going to push in towards the target very, very, very gently. Towards our median target point here. Excellent. I'm just adjusting us over here. Okay, looking reasonable, bringing it back. Some very, very slight nudges to the overall positioning here. RCS off. And we're grabbed. Beautiful. So now we've got ourselves some rocking here. We're technically all one vessel. And what I want to do at this point is I want to grab this fuel out of here to help with that rocking. So we're going to just grab all of the fuel that is here. And then we're going to jettison this. We don't need it. So off it goes. Beautiful. Little bit more fuel to transfer. And that, of course, significantly shifts the mass balance here, which is good. We definitely want that. And now we're going to need to undock this. So that's out of here. Beautiful. Next, we're going to need to undock here. Or I guess here would work too. So there we go. We undock that. And I want to control from here. And I want to back off with the shuttle. Ever so slightly here. Is this the right direction? Yes. Yes, it is. Cool. Okay, I want to be in... I want to set this guy over here as our target, ideally. It does not want to let us set that as target. Okay, we'll set this as target then. And let's just alter our trajectory here a bit. Beautiful. So now we are coming to a halt. There we go. Cool. And now we want to have this guy go here. Alternatively, we could just hold it with the arm, but this is supposed to be deployed with the arm. So we'll probably do that. So this guy needs to get placed here. That means, of course, that we need to go down a little bit. So we need to go this direction. Cool. There we go. We're going to go down just a smidge here. And then we're going to kill that velocity. We should be good around now. There we go. Now we're going to want to go forward out over this direction. So I'm going to turn RCS off, and we are going to nose over this way. Cool. And we're going to want to move this direction very, very gently. That's 0.4 meters per second right now, which is maybe a little bit more than is necessary, but let me just adjust our overall velocity to be directly forward here. It is slightly down as well, but we can adjust that. Cool. So we're going to have to go until we're about lined up here. That's looking reasonable. Yes, definitely looking reasonable here. Beginning a braking maneuver. Little further. There we go. Now we're going to go up a bit until we have that lined up. Is that the right direction? No, that's down. We're inverted. Gotcha. Okay. So we're going to go up a wee bit here. And that is, I believe, away from this Gigantor, which would be good. We don't necessarily want to hit the Gigantor. Okay. Going to bring it up a little faster. 0.2 meters per second. We're just waiting until we're in line here. So we need to be about here or so. Cool. Okay, let's bring this to a halt. That is the wrong direction. Okay, I was going the wrong way there. Wasn't I? No, I'm not. I was going the wrong way both times. Fantastic. Okay, we're going to bring this back. We're going to go down a bit here. And the question is, what way were we actually going there? Okay, we need to be about here in terms of height. Okay. I want to do that just so that we can see our actual directionality here. And then I want to kill that speed. There we go. That'll do. So now we need to turn here. Can we retract these Gigantors out of curiosity? Yes, I want to retract this guy while we're working here. I want to retract these radiators as well, just in case. Okay, so now we want to roll this guy over, not with RCS. And we're going to need to pitch the nose down a little bit here. And we're going to need to turn like this. Okay. We're going to need to pitch the nose down a little bit more. And then roll it out this direction. Then we're going to need to go slightly up. Okay. Point 1 and point 2. So upwards we go. We're now in the correct angling for this. Or approximately correct, anyway. And we're going to begin our braking maneuver approximately now-ish. About now, actually. There we go. And now RCS off, and we're going to roll this over this direction. And there we go. We're grabbed on over here. Fantastic. So we've got that temporarily moved. Now we're going to release our advanced grabbing unit. Wonderful. And we were flung free a little bit, so we need to set this as our target. I'm going to freeze our physics here, and we are going to point at target plus, or rather, relative velocity plus. Hang on. There we go. Relative velocity plus, since that's right over here. Beautiful. Okay, so that's looking reasonably good. We're going to kill our relative velocity, and then we're going to have to get this thing deployed. And that's going to be a whole nother thing. I'm not entirely certain how we're going to pull that one off yet. Okay, there's our relative velocity killed. So we're going to need build to EVA, step 1. And we're going to need to get this guy deployed a little bit better here. So something along the lines of this. Cool. And then we need to angle this out to 90 degrees. There we go. And we're going to need to unstrut for the moment our grab arm, because this needs to be dynamic. Okay. So now we're going to retract our grab arm here. And I'm going to retract it a little bit here as well. Actually, no, I'm not. I want it to be about here. Okay. Then we're going to bend this guy over 90 degrees. Now, this is clipping right on in, which is obviously non-ideal, right? There's no doubt about that. It's non-ideal to have this be clipping like this. So what do we want to do about it? Well, we can adjust our angling of this by using this hinge that was significantly more over than I wanted it to be. Hang on, we actually grabbed on there. That's fascinating. So we need to rotate this around here then. That's interesting. I didn't think that we could grab onto things that were part of the same ship, but apparently we can. So what I want to do is I want to rotate this guy 180 degrees, like that. Then I want to angle our hinge out this direction, and this is way too high of a traverse rate. So somewhere around here. I'm going to do it about a 30, maybe just a 15 degree angle. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to rotate here, back around. Cool. Now I want to increase this angle to 105. And we're actually grabbed on. Beautiful. So that's great. Now we can undock here. And it released. It was grabbed on. Okay, that's very rude. Well, we're going to head to Relative Velocity Plus, and we're going to RCS this. We're going to have to go get it. Really, we should be at Relative Velocity Minus. So let's make our way around there, and we're going to want it to stop tumbling. That's what a physics freeze is for. It really shouldn't have released both of those. We were grabbed on there, but we're going to go get it. So over we head, eventually. Cool. So we're just slowly making our way on over here. I'm going to turn RCS on and adjust our trajectory ever so slightly here. Okay. And we're going to go on to Kill Rot now. Cool. So we're heading over there. I want to be pointed at target for the moment. And at this point, we basically want this guy to be at an angle of 0. And we're going to need this to be strutted together, right? So we're going to have Bill EVA. Oh, actually, Bill's still EVA'd. Exciting. We're going to have Bill EVA, and we're going to strut this back on. Like that. There we go. And I'm going to freeze that rotation. There we go. Let's adjust our heading here a little bit. And let's head on in towards this guy at about 1 meter per second. There we go. RCS off. And we're going to warp forward until we've caught up a bit. Cool. So we don't want to actually impact it here, right? Correct. What we're going to do is we are going to RCS on, and I'm going to point at relative velocity. And we're going to start braking. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay. Now, Bill's going to EVA again. We actually have to unstrut this because I realize that we want to do this a little bit differently. So we're going to unstrut that, like so. And we are simply going to rotate this guy back on around. We still were in construct mode there. That's odd. We're going to rotate this back on around to 0 degrees. There we go. And we're going to rotate this to 90 degrees. We'll extend our arm right on out. There we go. And now we want to strut it. So now at this point, we're going to put in a strut from here to here is fine. Beautiful. So we just want to get that nice and solid. And I want to control from here. And I want to set this as our target. Now I have no way to change the angling of this, right? But that's reasonably fine. So I want to set to target. There we go. And we're just going to head on in at a very, very low rate here. Now, we're not actually going to be hitting right on the target here. And that's kind of okay. We could change it like this so that we are heading directly for target. And I guess this is fine. We'll be able to strut this together, right? So that's reasonably okay. Yeah, this should be fine. So we're just going to grab it about like this, and then we'll head back over to the station, which is, of course, about 800 meters away right now. I'm just going to adjust our trajectory ever so gently here. There we go. And we got it. Phenomenal. Now we're going to have Bill EVA, and we're going to drop a strut here, just to make sure that we're relatively good on this. We don't really care what direction we're bringing this in at. I guess this is fine, as far as all of this goes. It is time to put a cut in here, though, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to head on back to the station. We'll set this as our target, and I want to point to target with control from here. No RCS, thanks. So we're going to head back over to the station and get this module installed, and we're going to get the the PMA moved right on back. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Andy McGar, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12UK, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.